Hi everybody, this is Mr. Phillips. I'm recording this video here for you on Monday morning. I'm using a software, a little downloadable free software called Screencast-O-Matic. I won't bother you too much with the details, but it's a neat little program that allows me to record my computer screen here. I can narrate over it and move my cursor around so you can see what I want you to see here in Canvas or elsewhere. So that's what I'm doing here. So I want to talk just a few minutes about the main activity that we'll be doing this week, which is this sample essays discussion that you'll read about in the schedule or in my other announcements. I already sent out a text announcement just a few minutes ago to kind of give you a step by step. So at any given point, I can, give you documents or announcements to read like I did a little while ago with the sample essays discussion that I posted just, like I say, a few minutes ago. I can post videos of me, which I have done and will continue to do. I can post videos of the screen using the screencast or something. So I got a lot of resources that I can be using at various times, and I almost have to decide each time which one do I want to use. Do I want to send you just a text announcement like I did here? Do I want to give you a screencast recording so I can talk live? You can hear my voice or whatever. Sometimes I'll do both, and that's kind of what I'm doing here, and you'll still get to see my pretty face sometimes. So, um, but like I say, we're going to be doing the sample essays discussion this week. So, obviously, as you can see, I'm logged into my Canvas here, and you'll log into your own Canvas on your own. I do want to make this point. I'm not sure I've made this point earlier. Whenever I refer to Canvas, I am almost always referring to this actual website, the .com, well, the .edu. I call it the .com, but the actual full website Canvas. I know there's the Canvas app, but the arrangement of materials may be a lot, slightly different on the actual app. What shows up on your screen or your tablet of your phone using the app, a little bit different from what you see on the actual website, the full desktop browser website. But just to be clear, whenever I mention Canvas, I almost always am referring to the full browser website. I'm pun intended, I'm a little bit old school, and that's kind of what I always visualize. That's what I refer to. That's my frame of reference. Whenever I say click on this or something, I'm always talking about the full browser website. So those of y'all who might be using the Canvas app on a cell phone or tablet or something, the functionality might be a little bit different. The filing system. So when I say click on files, that won't change. It's still whatever, however the files appears in Canvas, but it's that functionality that might be slightly different in terms of how things physically appear on the screen. And Canvas, I mean, the website, browser website, I'll say, it's on the menu on the left side of the screen. Now, it may not be on the left side of the screen or something like that in the browser. I very rarely, honestly, use the browser. I have it installed on my phone, but I hardly ever look at it, so I'm not quite at any given point. I'm not quite sure what the browser version of something. I'm sorry, the app look like. The app version looks like. I'm always talking about the browser. I always kind of imagine that you're sitting there looking at a full computer, either laptop or desktop type computer browser screen the way I am. So you'll kind of on your own if you're using an app on a cell phone or something, which you're free to do. I don't care. I'm just saying you'll have to make whatever little adjustments that you need to in order to find the material or do what I'm asking you to do. So anyway, this week we'll be doing the sample essays discussion. I want you to get started as soon as you can. Today's Monday, only Monday. This is not a graded discussion. I always kind of debate to myself, should I make it a graded discussion? I don't want to, and this time I haven't because it is the first discussion that you'll really be getting into, and it's kind of a get your feet wet kind of thing. So I do urge you to do it, even though it's not a graded assignment. And I kind of mentioned that in my announcement that I sent out a few minutes ago, the text announcement. I want everyone to participate in this discussion as much as you can. Just because it's not graded doesn't mean you don't have to do it, or it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, or whatever. I don't want the grade to be the reason that you do this. I want this to be a useful exercise. A lot of y'all have said in your own personal, introductions that you are brand new to Valencia. You're brand new maybe to Canvas or college, etc. So everything for some of y'all, almost everything is a learning experience in itself. Just doing it, it's brand new to you. So I want this to be something that you do as an experiment to get used to it. And I didn't want to grade you on this first time out discussion since you might not be really used to it and not quite sure how to, communicate in a discussion like this with whatever, with your classmates or me or whatever. So we'll make this a for fun discussion, ungraded, but I do want you to take it seriously. I hope that's not too much of a contradiction. So please, kind of do this in good faith, as I said. To get started, obviously, I'm here on the the announcement screen. You can look at the home screen of Canvas. I'm logged in, the way that y'all would see this. These are my previous announcements, etc. So to get started on this, you're going to go again on the desktop. This is what it looks like on the browser version, but in an app or something, it might be slightly different. But you're going to be clicking on Files, and then as Files opens up, you're going to find this folder called Sample Essays. So click into the Sample Essays folder. And these are what I want you to find, these sample memoirs, sample essays. And you can click on each one and read it right here on your screen. You can download it, you can print it out, whatever you might want. Honestly, to some extent, I might think that you maybe should print it out. So that way you can literally, mark up on your page, you can circle, you can highlight, you can draw little notes to yourself, write little notes to yourself, whatever you might want to do. But as you skim up and down, or scroll up and down, this is the entire essay. This is the whole thing. I've single spaced it so it kind of fits on one page, so if you do print it, you're not wasting too much paper. Obviously, in real life, when this is turned in, it was double spaced. So I don't want that to be too much of a factor of your grade, ultimately, when we get to that point. But this is the entire essay. It was called Scary Spiders. The assignment for this essay, the assignment was, tell me about a time when you confronted one of your greatest fears. So think about what that would produce as an essay, or what that's meant to produce. Tell me about a time, write about a time when you confronted one of your greatest fears. Okay, that's the topic. So this is the essay that was turned in. And again, I remember exactly who wrote this. I don't want to give any details about it. I don't want to tell you what to look for. I don't want to color your grading at all. I don't want to tell you, look how good this is or look how bad this is. I'm not trying to influence you either way. I want you to read this essay, let it sink in, absorb it, close it out. Read the other two. Sharkophobic, same assignment. Sharkophobic was the same assignment. And again, little bit longer, but it's still just single space. It's all on one side. If you do need to print it, you're not wasting too much paper. Same assignment though. Tell me about a time when you confronted one of your greatest fears. Read through it. Third essay, Sheila doesn't live here anymore. This essay is a little bit different, or at least it's a different assignment. The assignment for this one was, tell me the story behind one of your favorite photographs. Tell me the story behind one of your favorite photographs. That was the assignment for this essay, or that produced this essay. As you scroll up and down, it's a little bit longer. It comes close to 2 pages, front and back, basically, double spaced. It would be closing in on 4 pages, 3.5 or something like that. So it's a little bit longer. But these are your 3 sample essays. Each one of them was written in a Comp 1 class, ENC 1101, by a student, just like yourself. So these are not textbook essays. They're not from a website somewhere. They're not from some database of sample essays or anything. They're not created specifically to highlight certain techniques. I didn't implant anything there that I hope you find. I didn't put anything into the Sharkophobic that I hope you find, or the spiders or anything. These are 100% authentic essays. They're unedited. Obviously, they're not on the screen. They're not graded, so I didn't highlight anything. They don't have any of my comments. They don't have any grades attached. These are exactly 100% the way they were turned into me. So if you find a misspelling, if you find a typo, if you find whatever you consider bad grammar, that's the way it was turned into me. If you think it was beautiful, that's the way it was turned into me. These are the final drafts. So, okay, once you've done that, download this analytic rubric. This is the scale that I'm going to be using to grade your essays in real life. So notice I'm going to be using a 100-point scale, 5 categories from left to right, and then basically the scales down in each category from top to bottom. So I want you to grade each category separately. I want you to start, for instance, start in this category. I'm trying to highlight content and organization. Grade that category. Grade the essay strictly on this category. Give it a grade out of 20. If you think it's outstanding, if you think this describes that essay, then give it a grade from either 18, 19, or maybe the home run, 20. If you think it's not quite that good, it's strong, but not outstanding. If you think this kind of somehow describes the essay, then give it a score of 16, 17, or 18 for this category. and you go down the column. If you think it's not quite good enough to be strong, maybe it's satisfactory, 14, 15, or 16 points, but you'll give it a grade somewhere from outstanding down to flawed, and you got a whole range, 0 to 20 to work with. That's only for this one category. Then you move on to the diction. Read what diction refers to. Give it a grade. If you think it's outstanding, you can give it 18, 19, or 20. If you think it's not quite that good, but it's strong, 16, 17, or 18. Do the same process. Determine what level, what specific grade out of 20 you would give it for each of the 5 categories. Sentence structure, grammar, mechanics. I will just say, for the final category, just automatically give it 20. Give it a full 20 for the process. Don't worry. I mean, I want you to see what it refers to, but just take for granted that it did all of this very well. Just give all 3 essays, give it a 20 for that final category. So you're coming up with basically the 4 subscores out of 20. You're adding 20 to it for this category, and you're coming up with a final score out of 100. So you might say 18 in this category, 17 in this one, 20 in this one, 14 in this one. You add them all up, whatever. I don't even know what I just said, so I can't give you the number. But maybe you come up with an 82 or a 74 or a 61 or a 97, whatever your grade is. Add up your 5 categories. Remember, this is always the 20. That's your grade. So do that for all 3 sample essays. Grade each essay on that using that analytic rubric. The rubric especially you might just want to print out so you have it in front of you, or maybe have it on a different tab. That way you can kind of flash back and forth. But when you're ready to do it, go into your discussions link. And in the discussions, there is a link down here for these sample essays. Click on that and just make your post. You know, made basically the same instructions here in a shortened way here. But when you're ready, just make your post. Here are my grades. Typing fast here. Sample essays. And you don't need to treat this as an essay itself. You're not trying to write 4 pages here. But you can just write, you know, scary spiders. I gave this a whatever your grade is. Talk about its strengths. Blah, blah, blah. Talk about its weaknesses. Blah, blah. I liked the way it blah, 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 but, and do the same thing, sharkophobic. Just make your post. Give us a grade, give us a numerical grade. The numerical rubric grade out of 100. And give us some strengths and weaknesses, maybe a few little comments overall, and then just post it. And that way we can have an ongoing conversation about these sample grades. Really, what we're trying to figure out, what is good writing? What is good writing? We can always look at that rubric and say, well, this rubric tells us the outstanding category for each one. An essay that does this, you know, in each category, outstanding. Okay, that's what good writing is. But what does that look like? You know, in real life writing, what would this look like? Or what would limited, flawed writing look like? And understand, you can give a grade, you know, a high grade in one category, but a low grade in a different category. You can get an average grade in one category and above average. That's the whole point of using a rubric. So come up with that overall grade so we can discuss and have kind of a big picture conversation about what good writing looks like in real life. What a good essay looks like. I don't want you to just copy in your own writing what I think is good, but I want us to come, you know, try to wrap our minds around this. So that's our activity for this week. That's mainly what we're focusing on. There'll be other stuff that I talk about or give a little announcements about, you know, either today, next few days. Like I say, you're not going to hear from me just once a week. But that's what we're working on. I'm going to end this recording, get this uploaded into into Canvas, and then we will keep going this week. So you'll hear from me this week. So get going, have some fun with this, and let's see what you have to say. Take care.